building and strengthening capacity in the carnival and entertainment and festivals industry, and to showcase Destination Tobago as a viable option to travelers for future getaways and vacations.
The committee will work alongside the Tobago Festivals Commission, the Tobago Performing Arts Company or TPAC, and the Tobago Tourism Agency Limited.
With the Tobago Festivals Commission or TFCL responsible for the event's execution, and the Tobago Tourism Agency Limited or TTAL handling the marketing and promotions aspect. Its newest company, the Tobago Performing Arts Company or TPAC, will be co-opted for add-ons mentioned previously that has to mainly do with the presentations of our intrinsic traditions.
The Tobago Carnival Committee will focus on education and researching Carnival and other key areas. Also serving on the Tobago Carnival Committee are Deputy Chairman Kevon McKenna, members Christoph Roberts, Antonia Thomas, Pearl Duke Orr, Seiko Allen, David Mirage, T.L. Thorne, Kerry Walcott, Anya Elias, Patrick Clark, Ainsley King, Kyle George, and ex-officio members Alicia Edwards and Dr. Charleston Thomas. The committee is calling on Tobagonians to encourage family and friends across the diaspora to experience Carnival on the greatest little island on the planet from October 28th to 30th. It's the rainy season, which means greater potential for flooding, natural disasters, and other emergencies. It's why the Division of Infrastructure, Quarries and Urban Development has ramped up its drainage and river works with the goal of mitigating flooding and possible erosion. Ryan McCool explains in this report.
The Division of Infrastructure, Quarries and Urban Development has begun its annual desilting works. It's cleaning watercourses within communities from the month of June through to August.
The desilting program falls under a greater quality stormwater management plan, and that's how we handle surface runoff from rainfalls. Now, one of the aims or targets of the stormwater management is flood mitigation.
According to DIQUD's specialist civil engineer, Kevon Trustrell, flooding occurs where unwanted water flows and accumulates in a normally dry area. In Trinidad and Tobago, there are 4 types of floods. Urban flooding occurs in developed urban areas where hard surfaces such as concrete and roads impede natural drainage. Coastal flooding, caused by storm surges coupled with rising tides directing water back into land. Riverine flooding, where riverbanks overflow causing floodwaters. And then there are the infamous flash floods.
This occurs unexpectedly. Once you have rainfall, you get a flash flooding in several areas.
The Infrastructure Division has already determined a number of contributing factors that lead to floods. Intense rainfall over a short period of time, prolonged rainfall over an average 3-day period, and the human factor.
We have unplanned development, and this captures a lot of people constructing homes on riverbanks, by the seaside. We have deforestation, persons in the habit of trying to carry out slash and burn agriculture. And once you clear the land from all vegetation, the water runs off at a lot faster rate, and this will lead to flooding as well.
The division's desilting program aims to remedy these occurrences.
What the program entails, we go through with machinery in watercourses. We target the watercourses that are close to villages, in villages, and watercourses that cross our main roads. And what we do is try to take out any debris that we see. We try to shape over the watercourse, and we generally try to increase the capacity.
Mr. Trustrell maintains that despite preparations, once in every 20 to 50 years, severe floods can occur. But he says the division stands ready to intervene.
In that case, we lean more towards our response to these things in terms of TEMA and the other agencies, fire service, even the IQUD itself. We respond with our equipment and assistance to persons.
The Infrastructure Division's desilting program will be visible in Mason Hall, Scarborough, Canaan Bonaccord, Charlottesville, and Speyside. I'm Ryan McCool for Let's Talk.
It is a major boost for the Speyside High School Steel Orchestra, which won the Tobago House of Assembly's Panorama School Competition from 2010 to 2015, as well as the Wynwood Junior Extravaganza Pan Competition from 2010 to 2016, and the Speyside Steel Sensations Band. They got a sizable donation of steel pans recently. Our cameras were there for the handing over ceremony so we could bring you this story. Have a look.
The Speyside High School Steel Orchestra and Speyside Steel Sensations recently got a well-timed boost, a gift of $130,000 worth of steel pans. The pans will help the members continue to make their mark on the national music scene. It's in line with the school's mission to facilitate the holistic development of its students.
And in order for that to happen, we have to have resources and we have to have opportunities. Right? Now, today, we are going to be blessed with a very expensive gift. Students, very expensive gift. And the best way that we could show appreciation for that is the care.
Because of our legacy, and as the Chief Sec indicated, in homage to Mr. Titus, we believe that it's our duty to carry on the legacy of the band. We have a rich legacy, having won various competitions and a lot of talent, and it's just to preserve that and pass it on to upcoming students.
The donation was made by pan maker, tuner, and the manager of NGC Steel Explosion, Aaron Anthony.
Today, I felt real proud because, you know, this thing never happened before. When you ask for a donation, the captain of the band will give you an old pan or an old guitar pan or old bass. Yeah? I work on these pans for about 5-6 months. We need a chrome factory in Tobago so we could export pans. And we need a national band of 35 players, divided boys and girls, so they could be employed at $4,000 when the month come, and they could play, and the money they made could go into an assembly fund. So you're not doing nothing for them; they're helping themselves.
Chief Secretary Honorable Farley Augustine was once the band's manager. Here is his take on the donation.
I am happy and I'm grateful that I could be here in another role. Had I not have the role of Chief Secretary, I most likely would have been in the role of teacher. I might have been hosting this function, but I'm happy I could be in another role as Chief Secretary to stand here with our resident pan tuner, Mr. Deuce, who has given to us quite a noteworthy gift. I mean, it was said before, the value of the gift, $130,000. $130,000 is difficult to come by. It's not an easy amount of money. And this is a labor of love.
Honorable Augustine has this challenge for all members.
Mr. Titus must go down in history as the person who helped to push our pan side to where it is now. And I'm charging those who are still here and responsible, Ms. Griffith and others, that we have to get the pan side back up and running in time for competitions for February next year.
For Let's Talk Tobago, I'm Raina Elaine.
We have to take a break, but do not go anywhere. Let's Talk Tobago. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Welcome back to Let's Talk Tobago. Indian Arrival Day is celebrated on May 30th. Of course, it commemorates the arrival of the first group of indentured laborers from India to Trinidad in May 1845. This year's celebration was held at the Scarborough Esplanade, and the East Indian community got a special thank you for its contributions to national society. Here's more in this story.
Trinidad and Tobago had another reason to celebrate its colorful history recently, Indian Arrival Day. It's celebrated on May 30th to commemorate the arrival of the first group of indented laborers from India to Trinidad in May 1845. Chief Secretary Honorable Farley Augustine joined the East Indian community during Tobago celebrations. He says he's proud of how much East Indian descendants achieved over the years.
For us in Tobago, we wish to celebrate with the East Indian community not just your arrival to this country, but as Dr. Boris said, your presence in this country. Your presence in this country has led to leadership across the country to many luminaries across the country, to captains of industries across the country, to significant scientific gains within the country, to academic achievements within the country. And so you must be proud of what your community has been able to achieve, and proud of what your community has been able to contribute to the landscape that is Trinidad and Tobago.
Trinidad and Tobago is noted within the Caribbean region for its ethnic, religious, and cultural diversity. The country encourages respect of persons regardless of sex, race, ethnicity, religion, or disability. This emphasis comes, in part, due to the various cultural influences that have helped to shape our islands.
Days like today must remind us of the need to work together as Caribbean peoples in ensuring that we improve our economic fortunes. For every new generation that comes, they must experience something greater than we had. We can indeed work together to build out a country that is a lot more resilient and a lot stronger.
The ceremony was held at the Scarborough Esplanade. I'm Kian Walker Hazel for Let's Talk Tobago.
Disaster preparedness is no laughing matter. It requires all of us to be vigilant and prepared to act in the face of an emergency. It's why the Tobago Emergency Management Agency, or TEMA, joined forces on a public education caravan on safety, part of this year's National Disaster Prevention and Preparedness Month. Here's more.
We're here at the Portmore Lower Scarborough, where the final disaster caravan is being held in commemoration of National Prevention and Preparedness Month for the month of May.
This is a very good initiative that has been put on by the National Disaster Preparedness Month Committee. It's a collaborative effort across Trinidad and Tobago, so we're collaborating with the ODPM and their stakeholders, with Tobago, with our stakeholders, to make sure that we are passing on as much information as we could to the public to ensure that they are ready for this upcoming hurricane season.
The NDPPM initiative is now in its third year. ODPM CEO, retired Major General Rodney Smart, is elated over the impact of the caravan.
We have done both in-person lectures, we've done webinars, and we've done activities including the evacuation of schools. We've also done for the fisher folk. We've put on a seminar, and boy, they enjoyed it. So it has been growing, it's becoming better, and every year we hope to continue to make sure that we pass on this knowledge and we get the people of Trinidad and Tobago more prepared for not just the hurricane season, but for any disaster.
The Trinidad and Tobago Fire Service, the TT-Met Service, the National Commission for Self-Help Limited, and the Division of Health, Wellness and Social Protection were also on site to bring crucial information to the public.
Over to the side, we essentially have the grab and go bag. It is, as it says, it's a grab and go. So ideally you will have your change of clothes for a 3-day period as well. Your personal care items, you try to have a first aid kit on hand. Note that you also want to have sanitizing items as well. We are still in the COVID period. So this is what we are trying to promote at this time.
Over at the fire service booth were demonstrations of very cool search and rescue equipment, such as infrared goggles and this device used to locate victims in difficult spaces.
Right, what we have here is called a search camera. Right? Use this for rescue in collapsed structures, confined spaces, and you could also use it in water as well.
To catch highlights or information from the National Disaster Prevention and Preparedness Month, visit the ODPM or TEMA on Facebook. I'm Ryan McCool for Let's Talk Tobago.
Karen Forbes, captain of the Trinidad and Tobago women's football team, is always proud to be on the football field doing what she loves. But this time, she's not in the center of the action. She recently hosted the Kick It with Karen football tournament, which attracted football enthusiasts from across Tobago as well as the sister isle. You'll find out more in this story. Listen up.
Karen Forbes is Tobago born, a Plymouth native and captain of the Trinidad and Tobago women's senior football team. She's also playing her part in the development of the sport. Karen recently hosted Kick It with Karen, a 2-day football tournament in her hometown. The event is aimed at showcasing the island's football talent and also to show the positive side of the seaside village.
Coming out of the village of Plymouth, Plymouth have a stigma of, always this ghetto thing and those kind of things. And I think it's a great thing to show that, good things could come out of Plymouth.
The tournament previously began as a 1-day affair, but over the years, it's attracted more football enthusiasts. So naturally, it has expanded. And from the look of things, the sport is definitely growing on the island.
What we did, we would have started, the first year we started this competition, it was a 1-day competition. But because of the magnitude of the competition, we decided that we're going to do it 2 days and see how it goes. So this is the second year that we kept it for 2 days. And so far, it has been drawing like massive crowds. So later on in the evening, you will see more people start to show up at the event.
And this year, it seems to be like better than ever. Seems to be better than ever. I hope everybody come out and let us enjoy ourselves. It's a beautiful, beautiful day.
This year is my first year in this event, and this is one of the best things I've seen in Tobago for a long time. This is a great initiative because when we are talking about community building, this is one of the things that actually will build community. I'm hoping that Tobagonians support this event much more because this is a seed that has been planted and we need to water that seed that it can grow.
In the end, winning the top prize in the female category was Unknown, a mix of ex-nationals and current players. The Frontline Empire team from Trinidad won the men's category. I'm Megan Wallace for Let's Talk Tobago.
In our final story, we'll shed some light on cerebral palsy in the series I Am Able, Just Differently. It's up next right after this break when Let's Talk Tobago returns. Stay with us. In this episode of I Am Able, Just Differently, we shine a light on cerebral palsy. Now, this condition affects movement, muscle tone, and posture. In this story, we meet Genesis Okubosa, who has been navigating life with cerebral palsy with the support of her mother, Liesel. Omadara Mills shares their experiences in this story. Have a look.
Not because she's differently able, that means I have to hide her away. When you say special, a lot of people don't understand what that special means. See the child and not the chair. See the child. I realized that she couldn't hold herself up. Whatever you put her on the chair as a toddler, you would have to put cushions to support her. You would always have to tilt the head. You would always put in cushions to completely surround her to support her. And I knew that something was wrong because I've been with children for all of my life. So I knew that something was off with her development. Because with cerebral palsy is a group of disorders that affects a person's the way how they move, their ability to move, their posture and their balance. The emotions were so high. I was totally broken because I said to myself, I remember one of the things I used to always ask God, why? God, why? I mean, I've been taking care of so many children for so many years, and now I have my child. My one child, you just give me a special child. God, what really going on? And as a parent of special needs, that's the first stage you have to go through. When you go through that stage, and you go through the other stage, which is acceptance. So in that stage, you would have many nights crying. You're blaming yourself for every little thing. You just feel like if you're going all crazy because you just can't understand why you. But you know what? Why you? Why me? Why not me? Why not me? God chose one of his best because he know I can handle it. Because he know he will be there to back me up to deal with it. Every day is a bright moment with a child so beautiful as Genesis. Every day is a bright moment. Everybody can tell you that. Her teachers, her principals, the past principal, even the one now, even the bus drivers of her school that she attends, the gardeners, everybody, the cleaners, everybody can tell you she's such a joyful person. When you say special, a lot of people don't understand what that special means. Special, you have to take more time with that child to do everything. So it's not, come here, sit down here, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. No, you have to take time with the child. Adrenaline rush comes more when I see how far she has reached, how much she has progressed, because this is a child that couldn't hold herself up. Now if you tell her, Genesis, lap your legs, she's going to lap her legs like the perfect queen, you know. You know, you tell her, Genesis, write your name. She couldn't write before. She would write her name. Genesis, read this book for me. She can read it because she's on social media by herself. Evidently, she has to do a lot of reading in order to navigate. So all those are really bright moments to me because I see how far she has come in her life. Not because she's differently able, that means I have to hide her away. How can I do such a thing? God was the one that blessed me with this child, you know. God was the one that blessed me with this child, and I have to accept. I've already accepted her, and I love her beyond words can never even surface. But she needs to enjoy her life. And if I am her mother and I'm not taking her places, then how will she know outside? See the child and not the chair. See the child. See her for who she is. Embrace the person. Forget the chair. Embrace the person. For other children with different disabilities, accept them. Show them love. Be kind to them. Respect them. Support them. Be there for them. Encourage them. However way you can motivate them, inspire them. Be a good memory in that child's life. Be a good person in that child's life.
So we've come to the end of yet another edition of Let's Talk Tobago, and as always, we thank you for watching. Please email us with your comments or queries about the program, and be sure to visit our website, like our Office of the Chief Secretary Facebook page, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. From our house to yours, I'm Avia Chambers, along with the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly, wishing you a safe and fantastic week. We leave you with a montage of the Division of Settlements, Public Utilities and Rural Development's internal small goal competition. Do enjoy.
Pre-qualification notice deadline 30th June 2022. The Tobago Regional Health Authority (TRHA) is updating its current list of pre-qualified contractors, suppliers, consultancy firms, and sole traders to ensure compliance with the mandate of the procurement regulations of Trinidad and Tobago. All interested contractors and suppliers desirous of entering into business arrangements with the TRHA are invited to engage in the pre-qualification of suppliers registration process. For more information, visit the following link: trha.page.link/tenders.
Security Services Company is the most advanced security service in Tobago. Ask about our cash in transit service. It's safe, risk-free, reliable, and timely. We provide safe banking delivery for all business types and sizes with highly trained staff, 24/7 monitoring, coordinated emergency response, and a well-maintained fleet of armored vehicles. Contact us at 660-7723 or visit our website at www.mi4securitytt.com to sign up today.
Opulence Promotion takes you to a musical paradise with Utopia. On Sunday, June 19th, the Buku Historical Park would come alive from 2 to 10 p.m. as TNT's most versatile jazz, reggae, soca, and Afrobeat artists grace the stage. Indulge in Tobago's rich cuisine and be captivated by pieces from Tobago's creative artisans at Utopia, the hybrid jazz experience, a fusion of music, food, and art. Tickets available online at islandetickets.com, in stores at Penny Saver Supermarket Canaan, Guy's AutoZone, Pure Vanity Lowlands. Call 716-6797 for more information.
Tobago Glass Supplies has been a leading name for over 37 years in the glass and aluminum market in Tobago. We provide an extensive range of high-quality, innovative aluminum and glass products for commercial and residential use. Competitive prices with superior and professional services by committed employees who are guided by rigid quality standards. Tobago Glass Supplies specializes in the manufacture and installation of glass and aluminum products that are essential to today's homeowners and the business environment. We are engaged in marketing, sales, and installation of a variety of products. These ranges from windows and doors to necessities such as mirrors for homes and vehicles, designed and manufactured in-house or imported.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
A hearty good morning to you and welcome to, and thank you so much for joining us. You are viewing Tobago Updates morning show and it's Youth Wednesday, which comes to you live from M&E TV, Gael, Smash Radio, Facebook, YouTube, 91.9 and TobagoUpdates.com. It is truly a blessing to be here with you guys this morning. I am Aliyah Holder.
And I am Janae Campbell, your dynamic youth host. Good morning, Tobago. Aliyah, there's a lot taking place here in Tobago and Trinidad and Tobago. And you know what? Let's start with T-Pack, who is doing a lot of good stuff here.
Yes, indeed, and I want to say congratulations to the entire Tobago Performing Arts Academy led by Mr. Elvish Rajman, and congratulations to Rayshon Pierre and Shaquille Jones, who's doing an exceptional job of holding them down together, and we would have seen that all the shows would have been sold out so far across the island, including Trinidad as well. So congratulations to you guys and continue doing a marvelous job.
Alia, were you ever able to see the production?
Yes, I went. Of course, I'm a theatric at heart, so I would have made it my duty to see this production, and indeed it was a marvelous, well executed production indeed. The best character for me was I think her name is Josephine. She was really good, really good. Like, I loved it so much. But sticking up in there, we go over to Candice Jackson with news in 90 seconds.
Thank you, Aliyah. Thursday, June 9th, 2022. The Main Ridge Rainforest is officially
Designated as UNESCO's Man and the Biosphere site. A special inauguration ceremony took place yesterday at the Visitors Center in the Main Ridge Rainforest. The designation of Northeast Tobago encompasses over 83,000 hectares of land and 68,000 hectares of marine space. Biosphere reserves promote the combination of biodiversity conservation, environmental education, research, and the preservation and promotion of cultural identity and heritage. It is also a tool that can be used to gain international support for conservation efforts. Herbert Guy is the first accused murderer in Tobago to be granted bail for a murder charge. In February, the Court of Appeal made provisions for anyone charged with murder to apply for bail. 2 accused murderers have since been granted bail in Trinidad. Guy was charged with murdering his 18-year-old nephew, Jamal Sebro, on June 26, 2021. Sebro was shot to death in Jiggers Hill Macing Hall when he tried to defend his mother during an altercation with a relative. The court took into consideration the age of Guy and his good character. He was then placed on a $1 million bail with conditions. Moving on to some news from Trinidad. A police officer and 2 foreign nationals are among 5 persons arrested for allegedly being involved in a child prostitution ring. The 5 are also expected to be charged with other serious offenses such as supporting a gang, trafficking in children, inciting a child to become a prostitute, arranging and facilitating the prostitution of a child, and sexual penetration of a child. The arrest took place on Saturday at the premises of John Shaw Avenue, Eastern Rainwood in Arima. Sex paraphernalia, a quantity of condoms, a large amount of alcohol, cash, and a roulette machine were among the other items found and seized during the executed search warrant. That was the news in 90 seconds, and it's back to you, Aliyah.
Very much, Candice. Jenny, could you tell us what else has been happening in this space that is very interesting?
Now, this is a very controversial topic, so I really didn't want to touch on it, but I guess we have to. There's this whole issue of Kamla Persad-Bissessar versus Miss Camille Robinson Regis and the whole slave master name issue. You know, Alia, what are your thoughts on that?
To be quite honest, for me, how I see it, if it was us niggas speaking, because if a nigga call a nigga, it's fine. Because it comes from the place of another ethnicity, it is wrong. It is an insensitive statement, yes, she should not have made such. But I solely believe that if it was on the African to African side, it would have just been played off as a joke. I do not agree with what she said, however, and I find that she should make an apology to her in the public space the same way she made the statement in a public space.
You know something? I find that this is a serious issue that she highlighted. Though insensitive, personally, she didn't lie. A lot of us do have names from our colonial, ancestors. But the thing that I want us to remember, though, is that I don't think it was our fault because our ancestors were put in a position where their names were changed, their identities were stripped, and so, you know, having those kind of colonial names, those Eurocentric names, and, you know, our culture has been heavily influenced by enslavement. So yes, I believe it was insensitive. But what I want us to take away from this is that as a society we must do better and try to, you know, ensure that we kind of go back to your roots. And from this incident, I have vowed I am giving my child an Yoruba name, so nobody could tell my child that she have a slave master name. And that's just it.
Right. For me, it wouldn't really matter. Whatever name my child have, they have a name. Because at the end of the day, once you are aware of your identity and you are proud of it, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, true.
But what do we have up in the lineup for birthdays today?
Yes, we have a lot of birthdays this morning. I am seeing Kenneth Utley, aka Prince, and I just want to shout out this person because he is, in fact, the owner of Dutch Fort Restaurant and Bar, doing great things. One of these days I have to come out and check out the karaoke, but happy birthday to you, Mr. Prince. We also have Miss Nikki Williams, and she is the owner of Sweet Haven in Roxborough, selling a lot of candy treats and confectionery, so big up you. And she's also a teacher at the Roxborough Secondary Schools and is doing a lot of great things. So happy birthday to you. Next up, we have our very own Talia Clark, who works with us here at Tobago Updates, and she's also into singing. So I'm wishing you all the best, Miss Clark, this morning.
Next up, we have Mr. Edson Moses, who is always around the place doing a whole lot of things. Happy birthday to you. And next up for birthdays, we have Miss Alice Gordon. Happy birthday from Auntie Rhea to you. Wishing you all the best from the Tobago Updates family. Happy birthday to Heidi Eastman. Happy birthday to Telly Cruz. And last but not least, happy birthday Mr. Anthony John, who is an integral person in the Tobago space. Wishing you all the best today and for this new year. Happy birthday to everyone from the Tobago Updates family. Johnny, what's on the rundown for us today?
Yes, viewers, we have a lovely show for you this morning. First up, we have Mr. Cassell Campbell coming to speak to us about the Boys to Men program. Please stay tuned, it's going to be interesting.
And next, outside with you guys today, we'll be doing, as you don't see me in studio. He really wanted to be outside, so we give him a chance. He will be doing Akeem Stewart, who is a national athlete, and Johnny will be ending off today's show with Mr. Keyshawn Wilson, who will be talking to us about Paint the Event. So remember, viewers, to share the live, share the live, share the live.
You're never gonna get my love, accepting that you're real precious. You're never gonna cramp my style, baby, cause I get a lot of pleasure.
Looking for that gift that you really love? Well, this one's for you. Craftsman's Corner is having a massive tool sale and expo Friday 10th and Saturday 11th June. Discounts, giveaways, tool demos, and lots more. Just building Craftsman's Corner. Upgrade Dad's tool shed with our wide selection of hand and power tools. Visit Craftsman's Corner, 24 Sincere Street, Canaan. Just build it.
You can now get whatever you need whenever you need it anywhere in Tobago with Tobago. Your meals, medication, groceries, and shopping all delivered directly to you. No more hassle, no more stress. Get the Tobago app today on Google Play or Apple App Store.
That's TAPPOGO, and let us deliver to you.
Check our website at www.tapogo.app or call the experts at 494-TOGO and 484-4746. Tobago. Relax. We will get it to you. Tobago's at your service.
There's a taste in the air everywhere. Feel the vibe cause it's something to share. Smooth, rich and creamy, you'll find it right here. Makes you smile, relax a while, it's fun and good cheer. Ooh, enjoy every scoop. Ooh, every day. This is Uncle Pete's.
Looking for plants for your garden or even a thoughtful gift for a friend? We at Eden Nurseries are waiting to welcome you with our affordable prices and variety of indoor and outdoor plants, flowers, palms, soil blends, pots, landscaping services, maintenance, irrigation services, and water features. Visit our garden shop and nursery Monday to Friday 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Saturdays 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. located at the back of Orange Hill Gas Station, Shore Park, Tobago. Or call us 639-0776 and let us help you bring your garden to life.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Tobago Updates morning show. And this morning here with us we have Mr. Castle Campbell. Some of you may know him as Cascam or just the man with the rasp who just give everybody talk. But good morning to you. And today he's here in the capacity of the Tobago representative for the organization called Boys to Men Rites of Passage. So to start off this interview, could you tell us what or who is such organization?
Well, the Rites of Passage Boys and Men program is a program that which bringing back that rites of passage that men could actually go through to see them now changing from a boy to a man. And through this program, we teach certain things. Our main mantra is to treat a 3D lifestyle, which is discipline, dedication, and determination. And we find that once you have these three things in your life with that 3D lifestyle, it fits into everything that changes a boy to a man.
Alright. And what necessary steps do you all take within this organization for this to happen? Like, is there children involved? Is there focus groups involved?
Oh, so we go through a 8 weeks cycle where we teach different topics from self-esteem to the role of the man in the house, leadership, from a hustler to a businessman, because we realize these are some of the things that men struggle with, some of the topics they wish to discuss in a certain space. And within those 8 weeks, at the end of it, we have a graduation ceremony. And with that graduation ceremony, you get a white t-shirt. It's a participation t-shirt. And if you're so interested in the program, we have a next session where you get a leadership t-shirt, which is a blue t-shirt. And after that, you get a black like mine to become a mentor.
Wow, so it's basically a program that you rank up yourself.
Yes, yeah, you have ranks, so you know, the more interested you are, the better you become in the program.
So I know that you have a distinct background in the performing arts era. How has that shaped your development as being a part of this program?
With the performing arts, I use a lot of devices. One of my favorite is the playback. Using playback because we put the guys through certain scenarios and then they have to embody the person that within that scenario. And then we ask them questions to why did you respond like that and why did you act like that. One of the topics we use playback in is conflict management, because we realize a lot of guys are quick to react without thinking about the process of why is this person talking to me like this and how could I change the situation. And when we use playback, we then sit the two guys down and ask them, why did you react like that? And most of the answers you get because that's how I was taught to react as a man, and that's how we start to change.
Do you believe that this program, or have you seen thus far that this program, you know that young men or boys are shelled by society to be not so fun, emotional, show their emotions? Does this program allow them to say that I am human as well and I can do such?
So yes, they do, because there's a part in the program, especially when you're doing the leadership session, which is you need to get a blue t-shirt, that is called sharing your story. And I myself have to share a story as to the different struggles I may face, and then they start sharing these different struggles I may face, and then together as a team, the participants, we come to solutions and what we could have done better, and also how we could assist, as you know, being each other's brother and being each other's keeper.
Boys to Men Rites of Passage would have started some time ago, like not just recently.
So in Tobago, it started in 2015, but it actually has been around since 2005. It started with Mr. Ian Jeffers, coming out of a massive foundation in Trinidad. He gathered a group of leaders, a group of elders, as he called them, to start the program. And as the demand grew, he realized that he needed to start cycles to then create mentors like myself to then run the program, because the demand grew from Point to Mayaro to Port of Spain. It just keep on growing. And then they came to Tobago in 2015, which I was a part of the program, you know, starting getting my white t-shirt at first. And then a guy named Shamari Babs came up to me and he said, I see you as a leader and I want you to come back to the program. When you run it again, I also want to play a bigger part than just being a participant. And, you know, you just start growing from there.
So is it that somebody just spots you? How do you become a part of Boys to Men?
So the program is geared towards different communities and schools. And if the school invite us, I mean, nobody knows about us much. We also visit the school and ask them if they would like the program. And through that, we go through the cycle and then you get a white t-shirt and like so on and so on. But prior to the pandemic, we were actually thinking about going to primary schools and giving the guys who earn the black t-shirts a chance to run their own programs. However, COVID come and shut that whole thing down, so that's why it's not as large in Tobago.
Okay. But besides going to schools and stuff, like the regular guy that isn't a part of a school or anything, how do they seek, if they have interest in such program, how do they say that, yes, I want to become a part of it? Do they contact you? Do
They contact me as the coordinator for Tobago. I also put my number out there. And also where the program is happening. Right now it's happening at the amphitheater behind the library from 3:30 to 5:30 on Wednesdays. And they do contact me, and if they're so inclined to just pass, we don't say no to anybody. Because our mantra there is food for belly and then food for thought. So, you know, we don't say no. Just once you come in, because we even allow ladies sometimes to even come through the program just to get their perspective on what we're speaking about. Not to stay the whole thing, but it's always good to hear their perspective.
So I don't know if you did it intentionally, but give them your number.
Oh, my number is 728-0108. That's 728-0108.
Right, so anyone who wants to become a part of the Tobago arm, and by extension Trinidad arm, you can also contact Castle Campbell and he will be sure to take you all through this entire journey. But before we wrap this interview, Castle, could you give some advice to those young men who out there who have lost hope, those who are gang members and they have a steady life on the block because the block life is their family? Can you reassure them and let them know that there is hope and what they are doing in life actually makes sense?
Well, my advice would be like to first look at yourself. And within looking at yourself, ask yourself, what is my purpose or what is my identity? What do I want to be in this world, you know? That sense of identity also propels you to anything you want to do. So just look within yourself and then start making your journey your own.
Right. And I know that you and Taddy Boom had some podcasts happening. Were these Boys to Men podcasts?
Yes, this was the Rite of Passage Boys to Men podcast. This was our first journey into the podcast world, so we're still figuring out how to, you know, get the viewers and everything.
Yours stopped at what's going on?
Well, the place started opening up and the demand for the program grew again, where we can now go into schools again. We go online for a particular amount of time. So between doing that podcast and the schools and your own job, it was kind of hard because I would have to fly to Trinidad to do that podcast.
So Taddy could come to Tobago.
I actually don't have the space to create a podcast here. Hopefully if Tobago updates, create that space. And welcome it, Taddy. We're going to be here again.
Okay, producers, you all heard that we need to understand, right? Boys to Men is throwing out a proposal on air live. So keep that in mind. But could you please reassure the viewers and tell them again your contact and tell them the days that they can join Boys to Men?
So it's on Wednesday, 3:30 at the amphitheater. That's behind the library there. My number is 728-0108.
Thank you very, very much, Castle Campbell. And it was indeed a pleasure having you here with us today.
Thanks for having me on, Alia. All right.
Right, so here we go on to the good stuff, where we have Miss Onella Walker, who is indeed my classmate. a very, very proud Scarborough State girl from the north side, Castara. I would like to take this opportunity to recognize her and congratulate her and her team for their very meticulous achievements at the recently concluding Pan American Age Group Swimming Championship held at the National Aquatic Center. Onella proved herself to be the most outstanding female swimmer for Trinidad and Tobago after winning 2 gold medals and 2 bronze at the competition. Congratulations to you, Onella, and continue making Tobago and by extension Trinidad and Tobago proud. And I know that this meet would have been the hardest one for you, since that you would have now lost your mom and this is the first meet without her. But I assure you that those gold medals and those 2 bronze would have been her saying that you still have it and you will forever have it, and she will be forever at your side. So viewers, congratulations to Onella, and remember to share the live, share the live, share the live.
Good morning, good morning, put a smile on your
Advertise with Tobago Updates. Call 284-6597. If you have a small or large business, we can get your information in front of the masses. Reach our rapidly growing viewership on Facebook and YouTube. Promote your brand in Trinidad and the Caribbean through M&E TV Now and Gayel. Yes, we can build unique ads for your business. Call now 284-6597 and advertise with us.
Our national borders, our first step to security, but a possible access point for guns, drugs, crime. If it does not look right, do the right thing. Call Crime Stoppers anonymously. 800-8477. Report possible border crime. Opulence Promotion takes you to a musical paradise with Utopia. On Sunday, June 19th, the Buku Historical Park would come alive from 2 to 10 p.m. as TNT's most versatile jazz, reggae, soca, and Afrobeat artists grace the stage. Indulge in Tobago's rich cuisine and be captivated by pieces from Tobago's creative artisans at Utopia, the hybrid jazz experience, a fusion of music, food, and art. Tickets available online at islandetickets.com, in stores at Penny Saver Supermarket Canaan, Guy's AutoZone, Pure Vanity Lowlands. Call 716-6797 for more information.
MI4 Security Services Company is the most advanced security service in Tobago. Ask about our cash and transit service. It's safe, risk-free, reliable, and timely. We provide safe banking delivery for all business types and sizes with highly trained staff, 24/7 monitoring, coordinated emergency response, and a well-maintained fleet of armored vehicles. Contact us at 660-7723 or visit our website at www.mi4securitytt.com to sign up today.
Looking for that gift Dad would really love? Well, this one's for you. Craftsman's Corner is having a massive tool sale and expo. Friday 10th and Saturday 11th June. Discounts, giveaways, tool demos, and lots more.
Just build it. Craftsman's Corner.
Upgrade Dad's tool shed with our wide selection of hand and power tools. Visit Craftsman's Corner, 24 Sincere Street, Canaan. Just build it.
It's a different type of thing down there. Man, we party till we drop down there. With a lot of pretty girls down there. Down in Tobago.
Tobago Glass Supplies has been a leading name for over 37 years in the glass and aluminum market in Tobago. We provide an extensive range of high-quality, innovative aluminum and glass products for commercial and residential use. Competitive prices with superior and professional services by committed employees who are guided by rigid quality standards. Tobago Glass Supplies specializes in the manufacture and installation of glass and aluminum products that are essential to today's homeowners and the business environment. We are engaged in marketing, sales, and installation of a variety of products. These ranges from windows and doors to necessities such as mirrors for homes and vehicles, designed and manufactured in-house or imported.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning. Good morning.
Updates morning show. It's all about Youth Wednesdays, and I am Johnny Campbell. This morning we have an action-packed show for you, and we're touching on some interesting stuff this morning. There's a lot taking place in Tobago, and now that COVID measures are being relaxed, we see that a lot of events are now taking place. And this morning we are speaking with Mr. Keyshawn Wilson, a representative from Dynasty Events, and he's coming to talk to us about the famous party. Well, whatever you want to call it, Juve experience, what and while, whatever you want to call it, it's all about paint, powder, action. He's coming to talk to us this morning about paint. Good morning to you, sir, and how are you?
Good morning, Jenny. I'm fine. How are you?
I am quite fine as well, and it's indeed a pleasure to have you here. Come, tell us about Dynasty Events.
Well, Dynasty Events has been around since 2018, and we just started doing events in 2019. Paint is one of our flagship events, and a lot of folks been looking forward to it. So we say, what, might as well do it. We picked our date, July 2nd. We picked a bigger venue because where we used to do it before in Plymouth, we kind of outgrew the space, and people been asking for a bigger venue. So, we listened to the call of the people, and we had parade grounds on July 2nd. So, come out, get your tickets, and let's have some fun.
Yes, let us have some fun. We have been inside for too long, so I'm really glad that a lot of the Tobago promoters are coming up and stepping up and hosting these events, especially in this period. Tell us about the journey of paint. I know the first event would have taken place in 2019, then you all had another event in 2020. 2021 was COVID, so no event, but now you all are back in 2022 and are ready for them. Tell us about the journey, how was it from inception, and what is the present outlook?
Well, from inception we always said we had different types of events. For Tobago, we want to change the whole party dynamic. When you come out, you have fun, you have a nice experience, you have something memorable, so that you can say, well, yeah, I enjoyed myself in paint. Anything Dynasty is doing, I'm going to be there for sure. And even if some folks may have been at home, they were wondering if to come or not, when they see, the videos, the clips, everything that people would be posting, they say, well, nah, I can't afford to miss another event from Dynasty. We would have done paint, the first paint, then we would have done floats and bikinis, and then earlier this year we had a little brunch called Epicure. We tried that out a bit, so we have a lot of events to look forward to as well. Like I said, as we got a little lift on the restrictions, people been asking for an event, and they said they wanted to get paint, so we listen to the call of the people and we bring paint for them.
You know, I like how you all host a variety of events to cater for different types of people. So it's good that you all kind of have paint, which is a lot more liberal and free. You know, it gives that more carnival experience. And then you all have events like Epicure, which is, you know, a little more classy, you know, nice brunch vibes, you know, catering for the more bougie folks who might want to come in heels and a little shirt and thing. And then you have paint, where it's looseness. So I'm really happy that you all offer that level of variety to the Tobago space. But touching on a very important issue, we know that COVID-19 would have really stifled the entertainment sector like many other sectors. So as promoters, how were you all able to cope during COVID-19? And now that we are seeing that the pandemic measures are being a little bit more relaxed, how do you feel now to be back outside?
Well, we feel great to be back outside. How we coped with it, we waited, we looked on feverishly, we did our research, we did our groundwork, we did our homework, and we said, you know what, when it is things start back, when outside has finally reopened, we're going to come with something totally different, a wonderful experience, a memorable experience for everyone that comes to paint to totally enjoy.
And how would you rate the party culture here in Tobago? Because, you know, we've seen a lot of events taking place now, but, you know, as you look at us as a people, you know, and you really do some introspection here, we here in Tobago, are we a party people?
Yes, we are. We sometimes people, I say this a little loosely, people don't know exactly, you know, what they want until they get it. You understand? And like I said, we bring in a lot of stuff that you could take home. So it's not just you come to the party and you enjoy yourself and things. You have some things to take back home with you, in addition to the wonderful experience. You know, we like you said, we've been inside for too long. So everybody wants to just come out and have a time, release all that stress, and have some fun, create some great memories. And that's exactly what we're bringing to you.
I love it. But you know, while it is important for us to be back outside and have the events and be entertained, COVID is still in the air. Now let's be realistic. We cannot have social distancing in an event like this. You know, that's not logical. But you know, what measures do you think can be put in place to, you know, kind of manage this thing? You know, if it is that you all are going to give out masks, give out sanitizers, you know, there are a lot of things that can be done. You know, what's your thoughts?
Well, I can't say everything that we giving out. Just know that we having a nice little goodie bag, and there's gonna be a lot of stuff in there. So I think I said plenty. I said plenty there.
I just wanted to ensure that you all are taking into consideration that COVID is still around. So guys, even though we're having fun, we still have to be safe. As the saying goes, we big and have sense. We big and have sense. So, you know, just, you know, tell us, what can we expect without giving too much details, of course? Why should anyone be interested to come to this event? For those who may not have been able to go to the event before, you know, if it's a first-time experience, why should I be intrigued to attend paint?
Expect to have a great time. we have the best DJs from Tobago and Trinidad coming to entertain you. We have a wonderful experience from the time you enter, from the moment the party starts till the moment it comes to an end, till the last song plays. It's going to be a grand time. There are lots of surprises in between too. I can't let all the cats out the bag right now.
I realize I've been a little reserved with me. Come, give me a little something. Can we expect paint and powder?
I mean, of course.
Right.
Of course. It's paint this summer.
Right. Paint this
summer.
We
paint in the summer. We kickstart in the summer. Nice. The July, August vacation. Nice. Right. So expect paint. We're gonna have a lot of paint. Right. A lot of that. We're gonna have a lot of stuff. We might have a little CO2. I don't want to reveal too many cats out the bag, but you know, we're having a wonderful time. That's the most I could say. You don't want to miss it at all. If you've seen the past events, if you're home and you're wondering, go to the Instagram page now, Dynasty Events 868, and you could see some clips of past events, and see the kind of fun that people been having in past
I'm
events with us.
glad that you mentioned the fact that there are a lot of clips of persons having fun in this event, because if I'm not mistaken, this is the same event that Mr. Omar Charles made his mark rolling all over the place, having fun. So guys, it's really indeed a very interesting event, and I'm sure once you attend, you will indeed be able to enjoy. But I have a pet peeve, you know.
What is that?
I have a thing with these promoters. Let me tell you what it is. Most of the events that I am interested in attending are held on Friday nights into the morning, and I'm an Adventist. And so, while I may not be the best Adventist, I still like my little zest. And so, when it is that I want to have my little enjoyment, I can't even do it. I mean, some people would still do it, but I can't see myself say I'm going party on my good Sabbath. At least if I have to sin, let me sin one sin. I can't go and repent to God. I break Sabbath, then I go party. So only I find sometimes I could keep the event at least Saturday after sunset.
Alright.
So when you go back to your committee, you could tell them that and remember Johnny, right?
We'll put that into consideration, because you're not the first person who would have brought that to us.
Yeah.
Right? But you know how the party space is, and that weekend is a kind of weekend. So we had to fit it in around that time.
You know, I could mix it up a bit now
but
all the time. So
for future references, we're gonna surely put you and others into consideration, and we're gonna look at other dates, right?
yeah, because this is I really want to go painting, but these are matters I have to pray and sleep on, right? So wishing you all the best with that one. But just shifting gears a bit, we know Tobago Carnival is coming up. What are your thoughts on Tobago having its own carnival and having that unique opportunity to market Tobago to the world?
Well, I think it's a great opportunity. It should be, we as Tobagonians, we should grab the world by the horns and support this initiative 100%, fully, and take it upon ourselves to produce the best show ever. You understand? I mean, we at a time now where we're not rivaling in a sense with Trinidad in terms of the carnival, because we know a lot of folks from Tobago will go to Trinidad for carnival, right? And a lot of people from Trinidad will want to come to Tobago to experience it, because we have a vast culture here that needs to be showcased even more than it already is, right? So I think we should, all stakeholders and everyone should come on board and support it. We have planned our date for an event during the season for Tobago Carnival, and we want folks to look forward to that as well.
I'm glad that Paint is deciding to participate in carnival activities.
Dynasty.
Oh, my bad. Sorry. Dynasty events.
Dynasty.
My apologies.
Yeah, no
right.
problem, no problem.
I'm glad that you all have taken up the mantle and would be participating. But on the topic of Tobago Carnival, there is the view, and this view is held by some. Yeah, I could see a minority. You know, the question is, do we have what it takes to meet the demands of the Trinidad market and that of the region? Do we have the talent? Is our level of mass of good enough quality for us to have this event? Some persons have been asking this. You know, what are your takes on that? And it's not only in terms of the mass, in terms of the events. Do you think that we here in Tobago have the capacity to pull this off and pull it off seamlessly and exceptionally well?
Yes we do, but that could only happen if we as a people, we believe in ourselves,
right,
and we take it upon ourselves and say, yo, this is our thing, and we are going to produce the best event or the best quality, so that people would look forward to this for years and years and years and years to come. But we can't do that if everyone doesn't come together as one and hold one head and look at the bigger picture, and say we could do this.
All right, this conversation is going so well, and I'm really enjoying talking with you. But I cannot let you go without you telling us how persons can access tickets and, what are the associated costs.
Well, the tickets are $350. You get your packages. We're going to have our collection date for the packages. That's going to be at Johnny Q, right? We're going to release it. Well, the date has already been released, I believe, or we're just tweaking certain things. All right, this weekend we have a little pop-up Lime at Toys at Fuzzy Panda. So we want folks to come on out. You can get your tickets from all committee members and only committee members. Alright, don't try to buy tickets from anyone else because we know it have a lot of things going on that we really not into right now. People trying stuff.
Okay.
We're not into that, right? Or you can just holler at any committee member. We don't have to get on to, or you can just follow the Instagram page, Dynasty Events 868. Shoot a message, somebody's gonna answer you within 5 to 10 minutes. Alright, and we're gonna get the tickets on to you. Anywhere you're at, we're gonna come deliver the tickets to you without any additional fee. That's how serious it is. Charlottesville, anyway, Hermitage and all. We come in there. Yeah.
These people are really serious about this thing. Viewers, it's all about paint this summer, July 2nd, 2022. We have to light up parade grounds with resplendent colors and nothing but beer vibes. Thank you, Mr. Wilson, for coming to speak with us. And on behalf of the Tobago Update family, we wish you all the best.
Thank you.
And we look forward to more activities coming out of Dynasty events. Viewers, it's Youth Wednesday, and at this point we want to take you to this day in Tobago history with Devon Adana.
On June 8 in 1983, Susan Craig James interviewed Carlton Robert Ruthven Otley. Now, he was a Tobago-born historian, social worker, and writer. And on this day, 39 years ago, he sat down to talk about the middle strata and the dividing lines of color and culture in Scarborough. Now, let me tell you about Mr. Otley. He wrote the books The Complete History of the Island of Tobago and Tobago Legends and West Indian Folklore. And if ever I did have a person who did know about Tobago history, he. Now, this interview was given verbatim in Craig James's book, the aptly named The Changing Society of Tobago. And Mr. Otley himself, a member of one of Scarborough's prominent colored families, and he made it clear that the major distinction between Tobago's middle strata and laboring class was culture. On the middle strata side, you had a strict Victorian code with manners and mores that were decidedly European. The people of the laboring class, however, pandered to Africanisms. There was another layer that blanketed the culture divide, which was the line between town and country. Town represented civilization and country, well, the opposite. Mr. Otley said, besides white people, there were two classes of Tobagonian. Now, if you live in and around Scarborough, like say, Bacolet, Rockley Vale, then you was considered town. One step outside of that area there was country. And country people lived a life that was separate and distinctly apart from town people. It didn't even matter if the country person was wealthy. And on top of this now, country people were seen as black people. Now catch this part. Even if a town man was as black as ink, Otley said, he was not considered a countryman. He was considered a town man. In the interview, Otley gave two specific instances he knew of where Tong men married country ladies. He said this was a big no-no. If you're from Tong, you're marrying from Tong, and that was that. In one case, Otley relative Teki himself got married a girl from country. He said, nice, decent girl trained by missionaries all, but Otley say his family never accept she. And as a rule, he and all the relatives them never call the proper married woman auntie. Them a call she miss. As a side note, that's a big disrespect in Tobago now. If you think the tongue country dichotomy stopped at marriage, guess again. Mrs. James asked Otley, so what about thing like bongo? You know, that spirited stamina dance when them a do at wake. Otley said, no, nothing African. Not even Obia. He said, I'm going to quote this part word for word. If a tongue man wanted a Obia man, he had to go country for that. In early to mid 1900s in Scarborough, Tobago, he no get one Obia man there. He said, amongst in Georgia would have to go for that. Pause to read the determining factor to be admitted into Scarborough's upper middle class.
Good morning and welcome to Tobago Updates. You are listening to you are tuning in on Youth Wednesdays on the Tobago Updates morning show. We are live here in Shore Park on the field opposite the cultural complex. Yes, it's raining. I might dare say we are outside, but outside under the pavilions. It's raining, and this morning we are here chatting with Hakeem Stewart. who is a national shot put athlete who would have just completed shattering his own record over the weekend going there. Good morning to you, Mr. Stewart.
Good morning.
How are you this morning?
Everything is good, man.
Now, what is it I have in my hand here this morning?
That is a shot put.
Why is it so heavy?
I can't answer that question.
And furthermore, how is it that you guys make this like it's so light?
It's years upon years of hard training, you know, and we're just trying to master the craft.
Yeah, guys, I forget to tell you that we are literally chilling with a big boy here. One of the big boys. He real big and he's strong because this thing is real heavy. But tell us about your journey getting into shot put. Why shot put?
Well, my father was a career soldier and he was also a shot putter.
Really?
Yeah, national rugby player as well. So it was more like a family tradition. So I choose to carry it on. You know, sometimes it was tough mentally, and I just choose to carry it on because I travel a lot of countries in the world and I'm still enjoying it.
Nice. But before we move on to the other question, let the people know where you're from now.
I'm from Canby, Tobago.
Come again?
Canby, Tobago.
He's a Tobagonian from Canby. Big up Canby this morning. So, you know, tell us about your journey and some of the accomplishments you have attained over the years, because I remember when I was in school, you made a lot of headlines for Tobago.
Yeah.
And by extension, the nation. So tell us about that.
Well, I make character game as a junior athlete, CAC, Pan Am Juniors.
What age was that?
17 coming up.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you're strong from a long time.
Yeah. And then I went to Pan American Games in Toronto. I broke 2 world records, won 2 goals.
Wow. And you remember the meters and how much?
Discus was 63.03 and javelin was 53 point. I can't remember the rest.
No, man. So you did javelin.
Shot put discus, yeah. Well, javelin is used to. I don't no longer throw it because of shoulder injury and stuff like that.
Right. Your shoulders pop out easy.
Yeah. So
like mine.
And I don't know how easy it was a pop out, but it had to do 3 events at that high level. So I focus on shot put and discus now.
Nice. And you seem to be doing quite well. You know, did you tell us about what happened over the weekend?
Well, it's 2 meets. I had the Zenith relays warming up during the competition. Everything was going good, and then rain started to fall during the competition.
Right.
I had a freak accident with the shot put. I really see shot put off from my middle finger alone, so that's the reason I state my fingers right now.
Right.
And the distance I threw in my first attempt, where I get the injury, it was 18.95, which was good for me. That was my second throw for the second competition for the season, and after that, going into the Kaizen Panther meet, I was a bit timid in competing, knowing that I was injured.
Right.
And I just went in and execute, and I broke the national record.
No, I want to tell them how far you threw this thing in. Just tell them how far you threw this thing in.
I threw it 20.99 meters, and that would have me ranked in the top 12 in the world. So right now I'm in the top 32 in the world, and that is, I will be, once I maintain that position, I'll be going to Oregon for World Championship this year.
I don't even know where Oregon is.
That's in the US.
Big up you and your whole, in the whole dance of this arena called shot put, because listen, I had to put this down a little bit because you see me I want to bust me through this morning, right? I put it down, right?
Yeah.
Right, good. You know, but I wanted to ask you about shot put in Tobago. You know, I believe it's one of those events or at the sport that is not really well, you know, there's not a lot of crowd. Tell us what more can be done, you know, to advertise and make the sport more attractive.
Well, I think field events need announcers by the area, so you know when we competing, people will know that the athletes are throwing.
Right.
The way shot put is in the stadium, it is up by the scoreboard and everybody looking at the main part of the field, which is the 100-meter stretch and the long jump pit.
Right.
But nobody don't really study shot put. But to me, as far as I could see, there's a lot of young shot putters coming up, which is really good. And I would also like to, you know, interact with some of them, so I could also give them advice, you know, to strengthen their weak points, you know. And I would definitely like to see young throwers improve and meet where I meet, or even further.
Even further. Tell us about the preparation for shot put, because it's not, you can't just throw the thing. You must have some kind of technique
Shot put is a lot of hard work, you know. Other than just physically training shot put, you need to be physically strong, mentally strong, and there's a lot of weight training that have to be done, and cross training. So yeah, shot put is a very demanding sport, but it's a very nice sport.
Right. But in terms of facilities, right? When you're here, where do you train?
I train home. I have my shot put circle in my yard, and I do discussing at White Oak Stadium.
Okay, okay. But do you think that there's adequate facilities for people like
as far as I would say, shot put is a strength related sport, and I would definitely say, other than getting access to the stadium, we need somewhere to do strength training, and that is something we do not have as throwers.
Right. So what recommendations would you make? Throw it out to the stakeholders.
Well, I think what we as sportsmen need, and I'm not talking on my behalf alone, I'm not talking about my specific event, but we as sportsmen, we need somewhere where we could call home. We as athletes where we could train as our own free will, because some person may be working in the morning and coming to training late, but they don't have the luxury of training late in the gyms and stuff like that. So maybe if we have a weightlifting center where all athletes could get to train at their own time, that would be good.
Right. Now, as the rain ease up, I don't know if my cameraman would want to, give you a little thing before we go. But I just have two more questions for you, right? Two more questions for you. We go. What more can we expect in terms of events in Tobago, pertaining to this sport?
Well, it's been years I competed in Tobago, and what I'm looking for is for more meets, for Tobago to host more meets. And as for it, this is Kaizen Panther was my final meet in Tobago for 2022.
Right.
And hopefully next year I will love to compete back home.
Right.
Yep.
Right. Good. Before you go on the field to show you how to do this thing, is there anybody you want to big up? Your coach, your colleagues?
Well, right now I'm self-trained. I would like to say special thanks to all my friends. They know themselves. I would like to say a special thanks to my father introducing me to the game. And everybody in track and field, let's keep positive and let me just keep bringing track and field back alive after this whole pandemic.
All right. So you only heard from the big boy. Your car get no other way. Now we're gonna make our way onto the field to show, for him to demonstrate to me, right? How to throw this thing. No, I'm not throwing nothing this morning because I'm not ending up in no hospital this morning from nobody, right? So we're making our way. Yeah. This thing really heavy, boy. Yes, boy. Make them money, so.
Catch on the grass? Not my catch on the grass, I just want concrete.
Yeah, you go by the concrete.
Because this shoe have absolutely no grip underneath.
Singing rock back, shake. No sticks, no stones, or any kind of weapon don't belong here. I don't wanna break no bones. I just want a microphone. Take the mask off your face and look at me face to face. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, 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 good morning.
Well, for basic financial getting into it. Between then they place the ball into the oven.
I ain't do that, sir. I ain't do that.
Guys, is standing too. And I got demonstrate the I do. This is called the rotation. Right, so you're starting the back of the circle. Let's turn in and push.
Let me move it. Yeah, boy. Wow. Guys, listen. We have to recommendation to our athletes because to throw something like this is not easy feat. It will take a lot of training, it will take a lot of dedication, and you know, Akim Stewart has been well representing the shot put athletic sport for the nation and extension Tobago. So Mr. Stewart, I want to thank you very much for your dedication and your hard work and putting Tobago on the map. You know, big up to you.
Thank you very much, Dwayne, and we see that you indeed tried to throw, but we do not want any injuries to happen. So it's a good thing that you didn't. With some solemn notes and some sad news happening on the island of Tobago just a minute ago, there was a murder reported in Mongrace, Tobago that happened a few minutes ago. Condolences to the family of the guy who goes by the alias of Pieman. We do hope that you all are taking this easy. We now go to Tobago Notes.
The Division of Infrastructure, Quarries and Urban Development has begun its annual desilting works. It's cleaning watercourses within communities from the month of June through to August.
The desilting program falls under a greater quality stormwater management plan, and that's how we handle surface runoff from rainfalls. Now, one of the aims or targets of the stormwater management is flood mitigation.
According to DIQUD's specialist civil engineer, Kevin Trustrell, flooding occurs where unwanted water flows and accumulates in a normally dry area. In Trinidad and Tobago, there are 4 types of floods. Urban flooding occurs in developed urban areas where hard surfaces such as concrete and roads impede natural drainage. Coastal flooding, caused by storm surges coupled with rising tides directing water back into land. Riverine flooding, where riverbanks overflow causing floodwaters. And then there are the infamous flash floods.
This occurs unexpectedly. Once you have rainfall, you get a flash flooding in several areas.
The Infrastructure Division has already determined a number of contributing factors that lead to floods. Intense rainfall over a short period of time, prolonged rainfall over an average 3-day period, and the human factor.
We have unplanned development, and this captures a lot of people constructing homes on riverbanks, by the seaside. We have deforestation. Persons in the habit of trying to carry out slash and burn agriculture. And once you clear the land from all vegetation, the water runs off at a lot faster rate, and this will lead to flooding as well.
The division's desilting program aims to remedy these occurrences.
What the program entails, we go through with machinery in watercourses. We target the watercourses that are close to villages, in villages, and watercourses that cross our main roads. And what we do is try to take out any debris that we see. We try to shape over the watercourse, and we generally try to increase the capacity.
Mr. Trustrell maintains that despite preparations, once in every 20 to 50 years, severe floods can occur. But he says the division stands ready to intervene.
In that case, we lean more towards our response to these things in terms of TEMA and the other agencies, fire service, even the IQUD itself. We respond with our equipment and assistance to persons.
The Infrastructure Division's desilting program will be visible in Mason Hall, Scarborough, Canaan Bonaccord, Charlottesville, and Speyside.
That was a production of the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly.
Wake up. the rise. The energy fill the skies. I say thanks for favor to wake up and heal my neighbor. 60,000 people strong, and the vibes is never wrong. We are beauty, we are power. We are people in the sun. We are beaches, we are rivers. We are melanated ones. We special and there is no denying. Tobago is number one. I am you and you are me. Together we stronger. Good morning, Tobago. Good morning.
Welcome to Good Morning Tobago on Tobago Updates, your source for current affairs in Tobago, Trinidad and the region, with the perfect conversations to complement your morning routine. I am Candice Jackson, and let's get straight into the news in 90 seconds. The Main Ridge Forest has officially been designated as UNESCO's Man and the Biosphere Site. A special inauguration ceremony took place yesterday at the Visitor Center for the Main Ridge Rainforest. The designation of Northeast Tobago encompasses over 83,000 hectares of land and 68,000 hectares of marine space. Biosphere reserves promote the combination of biodiversity, conservation, environmental education, research, and preservation and promotion of cultural identity and heritage. It is a tool that can be used to gain international support for conservation efforts. Herbert Guy is the first accused murderer in Tobago to be granted bail for a murder charge. In February, the Court of Appeal made provisions for anyone charged with murder to apply for bail. 2 accused murderers have since been granted bail in Trinidad. Guy was charged with murdering his 18-year-old nephew, Jamal Sebro, on June 26, 2021. Sebro was chopped to death in Jiggers Hill Mason Hall when he tried to defend his mother during an altercation with a relative. The court took into consideration the age of Guy and his good character. He was placed on a $1 million bail with conditions. Now to news from Trinidad. A police officer and 2 foreign nationals are among 5 persons arrested for allegedly being involved in a child prostitution ring. The 5 are also expected to be charged with other serious offenses such as supporting a gang, trafficking in children, inciting a child to become a prostitute, arranging and facilitating the prostitution of a child, and sexual penetration of a child. The arrest took place on Saturday at the premises of John Shaw Avenue, Eastern Main Road in Arima. Sex paraphernalia, a quantity of condoms, a large amount of alcohol, cash, and a roulette machine were among the other items found and seized following an executed search warrant. And of course, in some breaking news, we are having reports of a murder coming out of Mount Grace, and our information states that the deceased is Kathleen Rodney Carrera, and the reports are that it was during a home invasion and a robbery where he tried to defend himself and was shot. So we will be having more details to follow in our news tonight at 7:30. In the meantime, I am being joined on set by Denicia. Good morning, Denicia. How are you doing?
Good morning. I'm okay.
All right. So we have a lot of things happening in our space here. It seems as though today crime is taken front and center for a lot of the news in both Trinidad and Tobago, I should say.
Yes. It's unfortunate. And I think somebody else was shot in Canaan yesterday.
Yes.
So I don't know what to say. We were once in a country that we could have been able to be safe. We felt safe in Tobago, and now I don't want to say it's getting like Trinidad, but it's starting to become a situation where you're paranoid because you don't know who is who. And with all the murdering and attempting assaults and all of these things that is happening, we also saw the case yesterday where, you know, the schoolgirl was stabbed by another schoolgirl in a fight, and I read a news article this morning that says she's in the hospital. Yes. And her lungs is damaged, and I don't know, it's so heartbreaking because I remember when I was in school, we didn't have these things taking place. If I remember correctly, we were being thoroughly searched before we entered the premises, whether it be, you know, they would pat us down and then, or book bags would have been searched for any weapons and stuff like that. So my question is, I'm not sure if it's not happening now, and if it is, where are these students hiding these weapons that it's not noticeable for, you know, the securities to seize them? Because why would you go to school with a knife to the point where, you know, you have to stab somebody? And the article also said that the girl who was stabbed, you know, she was getting threats from this particular student a long time ago, and they made a report to the school and nothing was done about it. Well, I don't know if anything was done about the situation, but what I'm saying is that why it have to escalate to this point? So is it that the school did not do the correct interventions in this situation? Because I know when you go to school, you would have the little bits and quarrels here, there. I mean, you wouldn't get along.
There are disagreements that happen among children, but it doesn't have to escalate into a stabbing incident.
You wouldn't get along with everybody when you go to school. However, it's very disheartening to see that it reached a stage where somebody was physically hurt, and this is not the first school incident where somebody was injured by some weapon that a child decided to come to school with. So my question is, what is the government and the authorities there is going to do about this situation in terms of these fights that is escalating in schools where students are being injured? Because God forbid, it could have been worse to the point where she died. And I think I also saw they said that, you know, there's a possibility of the student being faced with criminal charges based on the situation that happened. And it's so disheartening to see somebody so young, like you have a whole future ahead of you, and it's disrupted by the action that you decided to take. And unfortunately, you have to face the consequences for the actions that you decided to take. But it's just sad. It's sad all around, because youths are, you know, the future, and we need them. And to see that they're taking a different route now, it just says what future holds.
Right, and then of course we had the Ministry of Education coming out with a response yesterday reminding principals that any incident of this nature that takes place with children in school uniform in the compound and outside of the compound, it's grounds for expulsion, and, you know, action can be taken against these students. Now, of course, I mean, the student can be expelled, but then what happens next? Is there a program in place to deal with the students, to you know, rehabilitate these students? Because of course we can't allow these students to keep on going through life with these kind of tendencies and resorting to violence whenever there are problems, you know. And then, I mean, sometimes it starts with stupid little things. You don't like how somebody talks, you don't like how they act, but, you know, just because you don't really like a person doesn't mean that it needs to escalate to something like that.
No, but we also have to take in consideration the other factors that may contribute to such violence. Like, we have to look at the home environment. Sometimes these students are in homes where they're seeing the abuse between their parents or within their family setting, and because of that, some people don't understand how negatively it may impact a child, and therefore having all of these things that is going through your mind, you are not able to compartmentalize, or you're not able to deal with it the best way you can. And therefore, if somebody comes up to you and it could be a simple comment, you react so harsh towards it because you have all of these things bottled up inside of you that you're dealing with at home. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying this is an excuse. I'm just saying that we also have to look at the contributing factors as to why students come to school and they are so volatile, why they are so violent, why they are so aggressive. You know, it's not because they decide to be that way sometimes. It really and truly is a result of what is taking place in their intimate space.
Right, and I mean, it's something we really have to pay attention to. That's a whole big discussion, and there's so many angles to it. But it is alarming within our space. And then, you know, with the recent rise, I mean, of these gun violence that we're having in Tobago, we're going to have to see what's coming out of that. I mean, the police said that they have things in place so that whenever such crimes are committed, they have that technology where they can track down these people that have committed these robberies, and so on. So we're hoping to see what comes out of that. And of course, well, today, Denicia, is World Ocean Day, right? So the environment this week is getting a lot of attention because on Sunday we had World Environment Day. Yesterday we had the main rich rainforest and the Northeast Tobago, as a matter of fact, getting the official designation of the Man and the Biosphere site. So the UNESCO Man and Biosphere site. And today it's World Ocean Day, so we have our environment in focus. And of course, being an island and being dependent on tourism, we need to keep focusing on our environment and our conservation efforts and so on. And so later on in the program, after the break, we'll be speaking with Mr. Sean McCoon, who is the PRO of the of Environment Tobago, who is going to be speaking to us about Environment Today, World Oceans Day today, sorry, as well as the Man on the Biosphere project, just a little bit on that, and you know what this can mean for Tobago. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back right after the break.
It's a different type of thing down there. Man, we party till we drop down there. With a lot of pretty girls down there. Down in Tobago.
Glass Supplies has been a leading name for over 37 years in the glass and aluminum market in Tobago. We provide an extensive range of high-quality, innovative aluminum and glass products for commercial and residential use. Competitive prices with superior and professional services by committed employees who are guided by rigid quality standards. Tobago Glass Supplies specializes in the manufacture and installation of glass and aluminum products that are essential to today's homeowners and the business environment. We are engaged in marketing, sales, and installation of a variety of products. These ranges from windows and doors to necessities such as mirrors for homes and vehicles, designed and manufactured in-house or imported.
You can now get whatever you need whenever you need it anywhere in Tobago with Tobago. Your meals, medication, groceries, and shopping all delivered directly to you. No more hassle, no more stress. Get the Tobago app today on Google Play or Apple App Store.
That's TAPPOGO and let us deliver to you.
Check our website at www.tapogo.app or call the experts at 494-TOGO and 484-4746. Tobago. Relax. We will get it to you. Tobago's at your service.
Coconut's Cafe, the buffet restaurant that specializes in all your tasty local dishes. For breakfast and for lunch. Breakfast includes coconut bake and sada roti, served with chokers, bull joil, and sausages in tomato sauce. Not forgetting beef and cheese pies, shepherd's pie, macaroni pie, and rice in various styles. Meat served in a variety of flavors, garden salads, and pasta salads. All this accompanied by fruit juices, coconut water, your choice of a great combination to appease your taste buds. So call us today to order, as we are here to accommodate your busy schedules or if you are having a cooking day off.
Yeah. Hey.
Welcome back to Good Morning Tobago. Now, of course, the conversation for this morning is on World Oceans Day, because today is World Ocean Day. And it's about one ocean, one climate, one future together. And it's about, putting that conservation focus, for conservation action in focus, and protecting at least 30% of our 30. So 30 by 30, right? So, and joining us on set, we have Mr. Sean McCoon, who is of Environment Tobago. And just before, I should say good morning. All right, and just before we go into the discussion,
are really made aware, or at least they're sensitive to marine spaces and the ocean as we know it.
All right, what would you say is the condition of our oceans here in Trinidad and Tobago? Well, specifically Tobago. Let's focus on Tobago. Like, how would you say that we have been treating the sea around us?
All right, in comparison to our brother island, since we are the sister island, I would say in comparison to Trinidad and our counterparts in Trinidad, we have the condition of our reefs, coral bleaching, and you have all sorts of marine life being affected by climate change. So climate action requires collective and collaborative effort. Sustainable Development Goal 17, SDG 17, is in fact sustainable partnerships. So we can do nothing for ourselves. We have to partner. We have to collaborate. No man is an island, right? While Tobago is an island, right? No man is an island. And we all have to collaborate, put our heads together, put our shoulders to the wheel, and fight for climate action, climate change adaptation, and all of these nice buzzwords we like to use.
And as we're talking about that collaboration, we had something wonderful happen yesterday, and that is the designation of Northeast Tobago as the UNESCO's Man and the Biosphere Reserve. Tell me a little bit how that helps, with the conservation efforts towards our oceans.
Alright, so the Man and the Biosphere designation was a very proud moment for all of us here in Tobago. I think even on a national level, people in Trinidad would have been looking on and saying, hey, Tobago has finally taken its place among all of those other small island developing states and nations in general. And being recognized, receiving the due recognition for the beauty that is with us here in Tobago. Now, the Man and the Biosphere designation isn't just in the rainforest or the main ridge forest reserve. It's a ridge to ocean system. So you have from the top of the ridges up on the mountain, in the rainforest, down to the oceans and the coastal areas that surround. And this designation is a game changer for Tobago in the sense that it attracts even more economic investment for climate change adaptation, for green and blue economy initiatives, and it also shines a light on the beauty that is Tobago. And I think that this Man and the Biosphere designation also allows for technical expertise, researchers, scientific research, all of those things, and that sort of expertise to now come to Tobago and see what we have, research on it, produce content on it, and all the world can see the things that we have to offer here in the natural environment. It also, Candice, it also contributes to a tourism thrust. Now, Tobago has been always a space where we're trying to figure out what is the tourism product. What exactly are we offering? And we, in fact, can offer our natural environment as the product. So ecotourism can benefit, in fact, from the Man and the Biosphere designation. Just the fact that we have that label, that name, and that designation placed in Tobago, we now have benefits to see in the tourism thrust from that.
And of course, that designation helps with us getting that funding that we need to invest more in our oceans and invest more in our rainforest and our conservation efforts.
Yes, absolutely. The UNESCO Man and the Biosphere designation opens a whole lot of doors for us to gain direct foreign investment, grant funding, and all other sorts of international interest, which can really act as an economic catalyst for blue economy initiatives, for maritime and marine investment. You would have people wanting to come in and look at the reefs and look at the maritime spaces, the coastal areas, and the ocean in general. We can now find ways to monetize that based on this designation. So it is welcome, long overdue.
Long overdue.
And I know that many of my civil society partners and friends are very, very happy. I know the Tobago House of Assembly is also very happy. And as an island, I think it's something we can really be proud of. And, you know, hold your heads up high and say, yes, Tobago is in fact paradise, and we can now be recognized for that.
And it signals the start of work too, because to keep that a designation, you have to keep doing certain things, making sure that conservation efforts are really going on. Otherwise, we will lose that designation.
Absolutely, Candice, because monitoring and evaluation is very important. Monitoring, evaluation, and constant maintenance and upkeep of, let's say, our facilities. Now, you saw we went to the visitor center at the Main Ridge Forest Reserve yesterday, and we saw the sculptures being erected, being placed there with the signage and all of that. And it's up to us now to maintain and upkeep those facilities.
And of that's the first of a sculpture. And I mean, I know this sculpture was created by Mr. Tommy Roberts, and and it represents the work of all of us Tobagonians coming together to protect our land and our ocean space.
Exactly, and I think the artistic direction that is being used it's well in keeping with the culture of the island. It's well in keeping with the spirit and the vibrancy of our people. And it really was refreshing to see the orange economy as well coming into play with the blue and the green. So I think Tobago now has the potential to find blue, green, and orange economy output, right? So that's it's very encouraging.
And under the man and the biosphere, they all come together nicely, because it's not just about the environment, it's protecting our heritage. And as we know, I mean, our foreparents, they had a very close connection with the environment. Absolutely. And it formed a lot of the traditions that we had or still have. So, you know, it's a wonderful opportunity.
Yes, absolutely, Candice. It's as I said before, it's very refreshing to see that the cultural and heritage aspects of the natural environment are being included now in the output. And the man and the biosphere designation, also with emphasis on the oceans, it really gives a wonderful platform for local artists and our cultural practitioners to have that opportunity to showcase themselves.
All right. Yeah. Well, we're just going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Opulence Promotion takes you to a musical paradise with Utopia. On Sunday, June 19th, the Buku Historical Park would come alive from 2 to 10 p.m. as TNT's most versatile jazz, reggae, soca, and Afrobeat artists grace the stage. Indulge in Tobago's rich cuisine and be captivated by pieces from Tobago's creative artisans at Utopia, the hybrid jazz experience, a fusion of music, food, and art. Tickets available online at islandetickets.com, in stores at Penny Saver Supermarket Canaan, Guy's AutoZone, Pure Vanity Lowlands. Call 716-6797 for more information.
Are you looking for that all-in-one shopping experience? Then look no more. Visit Lamb's Best Mart for your grocery items, fruits and vegetables, drinks, home items, stationery, gift items, hampers, shopping gift cards, toiletries, small hardware items, and much more. We provide order and pickup service, even delivery to your door. We are your friendly community supermarket. Check us out today at Lamb's Best Mart, located at 22 Daniel Trace, Canby, or visit us on social media at Lamb's Best Mart.
And welcome back to Good Morning Tobago, and we are going to go straight into a short little interview because obviously saw from our pictures that we had right before the break of that sculpture that was done to mark the designation of the Northeast Tobago as the UNESCO's Man and the Biosphere. So we're just going to go into a short interview with Mr. Tommy Roberts, who is the artist behind the sculpture.
Yes. All right. All right. The our own, right? And the piece basically describes or talk about our environment, specifically our main ridge, the forest that is ours, and we need to protect it and take very good care of it. All right. The three persons represent different spheres of life. The one in the back represents the farmer. The one on the right represents youth. The one on the left represents professional people. However, you notice all of them are bare feet, right? And the feet planted in the ground, right? It means that we must stay connected at all times to our environment, regardless who we are, regardless what position we occupy. We must stay connected and grounded. Once we take care of the environment, it will take care of us. If you look carefully, the hands reaching out, touching the environment, and that is it there, all right? So,
yeah, because I see the piece in the center is some portal or something.
Yeah, the piece in the center represents the earth, right? The upper portion being terrestrial, the portion below represents underwater, all right? And you now, as an individual coming to visit this site, you will complete the process by taking up your rightful place in the environment and making the circle complete. Right?
Makes sense. That's news.
Right?
Can I get a picture of him, please?
Right, so that is the process, and we have, well,
that's a given.
It is a magnificent piece of work, but it was hard work, so I have a dedicated team, and we work together to ensure. I had Katie, I have Doneski. Doneski is here, right? His wife as well, Dr. Salvador, right? A few persons that are not here as well, but they've been very instrumental in ensuring that this is happening. No man is an island, you can't do everything on your own, so everybody pitched in to ensure that it was successful, so I'm really grateful for that.
Excellent. All right, and there you have it, Mr. Tommy Roberts, just giving us a little bit of what that sculpture is. And that is not the end of it, because that sculpture also marks the first piece of many art pieces that are going to be included on a trail in the rainforest. And one of those pieces will be placed underwater. And don't worry, you know your Tobago Updates team will have all the coverage of those pieces as they get in there, in the rainforest, and of course under the water. I'll be going down with when that happens later on in the year. So Mr. Sean McCoon, and of course we are still talking with Mr. Sean McCoon, who is a PRO of Environment Tobago. Now, as we're speaking about Man and the Biosphere Project, and we have this art trail, that orange economy coming into place there, which is going to help towards tourism, but we're also seeing that some of the European businesses, NGOs, etc., they are now taking a keen interest in Tobago because of this designation and what's happening here.
Absolutely. So as I was saying before we went to the break, the Man on the Biosphere designation opens many doors for us to gain direct foreign investment, gain grant funding, gain investment, and just it also opens doors for even more people to come and experience what is uniquely Tobago and experience the natural environment, our oceans, ridges, reefs, etc. We, as is, we have interest from the Dutch government since they have a cultural and historical footprint in Tobago. They have now signaled their intent to partner with Tobago more extensively through funding and other means. The European Union also has a large amount of funding that many other small island developing states, many of our Caribbean counterparts would have benefited from the European Union funds that are available, or grant funding that is available. We can now tap into that as well. Tobago can now benefit tremendously from that, and I can say for myself from meeting this distinguished gentleman, the Dutch ambassador is quite keen on Tobago. He sees lots of potential. He's very happy to see the Man on the Biosphere designation, and he is a very collaborative individual that wants to really pull all of the sectors together for not just the tourism trust, but also the environmental gatekeeping and conservation, preservation, and all of, as I said, the nice buzzwords that we like to use.
And of course, it's one ocean, one climate, one future together, and none of this, so we can have all that investment, but it all goes to naught if our people, our Tobagonian people, don't get involved and don't, jump on that cause and make this a success.
Absolutely, Candice. It is very important. In fact, it is critical that our people get involved and that they see themselves as the ambassadors for the environment, and that they see themselves as protecting what is ours and our heritage, our culture, and all of those things that play a part in the way we express ourselves on a day-to-day basis. It also heavily relies on the natural environment. So it is up to us as people and up to each and every citizen, man, woman, child, even a dog, if possible, to get involved and really be ambassadors for this island and be ambassadors for protecting the environment. Very important.
And once we have a thriving environment, we have a thriving people, a thriving culture.
Exactly.
And a thriving economy.
Yes, correct is right. Yeah.
Right? So I just want to thank you, Mr. Sean McCoon, PRO of Environment Tobago, for joining us this morning for our discussions on World Ocean Day. So I just wish that you guys could take an opportunity to think about the way of how your relationship is with the ocean and see what you can do to make sure that you are not having a negative impact on the health of our oceans, because we need it. We need it for food, we need it for our finances, we need it just for our clean air. So, do your part. Anyways, this is all for our show on Good Morning Tobago. It was such a pleasure being with you. I am Candice Jackson, reminding you guys to stay safe and have a wonderful and productive day. Bye, everyone.
Happy Father's Day. Looking for that gift Dad would really love? Well, this one's for you. Craftsman's Corner is having a massive tool sale and expo. Friday 10th and Saturday 11th June. Discounts, giveaways, tool demos, and lots more. Just build Craftsman's Corner. Happy Father's Day. Upgrade Dad's tool shed with our wide selection of hand and power tools. Visit Craftsman's Corner, 24 Sincere Street, Canaan. Just build it.
It's a brand new morning, rise up to a brand new dawning. As the passion start to rise, the energy fill the skies. I say thanks for favor to wake up and hear me.